I know exactly what was going on. Well, not specifically, but exactly the type of thing that was going on. And when everybody's like, "Oh, Twitter is going to fail because Elon Musk laid off 8,000 people, and how could it operate without 8,000 people?" Those were 8,000 moonlighting employees working for different governments and PR agencies that had all infiltrated the company's payroll or had blackmailed their way into the company's payroll in order. And Elon, and the only way to flush that thing was just to fire everybody and come in fresh with being as somebody who had it was not the founder or people running the company who were had been guilty of all these things I just described, and therefore could never go and signed all these secret agreements and compromises without coming in from the outside. X Twitter could never have been purged of that, and it got massive. So the reason the US government is so excised about TikTok is because they know exactly what they did to Twitter, and they know exactly what China does with TikTok information. They know it. It's not a matter of he said, she said, we speculate they could. The press loves to make it because we got to remember that media isn't effective unless it's controversial. So if you read a press article that's totally truthful and non controversial, that's not as successful. You're not going to make as many ad impressions with an article that you go, oh, well, of course, and then move on. You have to go, what? That's shocking. I need to share this and forward it to my friends and family and talk about it. That's useful press. That's press that's making maximum ad dollars. So no matter how what the story is and what the facts are, a press article is always written with the right amount of ambiguity and imbalance in weighing the truth versus, but it could mean this. It doesn't, but it could, in order to be maximally viral and ad generating, so that the people consuming articles that have been written and tuned for maximum virality can't see the real factual story that might be in there anymore because it's been washed out by controversial choice of wording. So in this article here, it's Chinese government could use the information gathered. We're not saying they are. The author of the article, they don't know that of course it's fucking used for it. They don't know that. They it just might be. Just we heard somebody said that, but we're objective journalists, so we're not going to make the factual statement, which is that of course it absolutely is used that way. We're going to make a vague statement that makes it questionable so that it's discussed, so that the article gets circulated like I'm doing now. So if the article is vague, then I have to talk about it, and then I'm going to link it, and then more people will see it, and the New York Times will generate more subscriptions and ad impressions. What's the ad on this page? Quiet only in appearance. Oh, it's a furniture ad. So everybody will see this furniture ad here on this page or something like it. And it's get 1 year for $1 a week plus a free tote when I post this on my LinkedIn. So the article's written that way precisely. So I have to go tell you, no, it's not could use. They know it is. That's how it's being used. Of course, they're collecting all that compromise. And so the US government's going, well, we would never abuse the personal and private information to extort things from individual US citizens. We just do that to the companies they work for, the private companies they found, but not them individually. That would be an abuse of power. No, 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 no. That's no. But then, of course, the Chinese would never do that either. And so you have the public smearifying of the truth, which is, of course, they all are. So TikTok's totally Chinese state intelligence, NSA. And if you let your kids use it and they're doing any kind of kid things that they're going to regret when they're powerful executives in the future, well, the Chinese government has it, and they're going to be in touch one day when it matters in some indirect but okay form. That's how it works. That's welcome to reality, right? So you wanted the what do I think of the TikTok thing? Well, I don't think anything about it. I would simply point out, why is Donald Trump and Xi Jinping negotiating over a free waste of time, nobody needs it social media company if it isn't a state intelligence agency? Just saying. uh, try to make up another explanation that doesn't make you sound like a total dumbass, but I don't think you can. So, I'm not really expressing an opinion. I'm highlighting my insight into the nature of this. So, yeah, you go, what are you talking about? Why are people, it's like, yeah, over such a petty, unimportant thing, or what should be a petty, unimportant thing, if they aren't state intelligence services, right? So anyway, I was saying about moonlighters. So there are lots of people who belong to intelligence information networks who making money on the side. Governments, like when if the U.S. government says, "Oh well, if you don't want to be investigated for your naughty photo collections, which are always illegal for you to have on your site, or to have any employees who are U.S. citizens even look at to see if they might be illicit, if you want cover from that to never have this happen to you again, well, you're going to sign this agreement just saying, yeah, we're just going to cooperate with whatever you say. We're going to participate in your child safety program." And then we're going to employ whoever you tell us to employ to oversee it. And they work for the government. But because they work for the government, you don't have to know that. They're just going to be your employees, and those are moonlighters, right? So Twitter got so infested with those that Elon Musk had the freedom to come by going, I don't know about any of that. I wasn't in any of that. I'm going to pretend I don't know about all these secret deals. I'm just going to fire y'all. And that's what he did. However you feel about it, that's the reality. Um, and I think and you saw some hints of that coming out. Like, why did he fire the cleaning crew and the janitors? Because they were all moonlighters. They're all in there with their mops and brooms at after hours with the thumb drives going, copy, all right. And then they knew it, and X knew it, their Twitter knew it. So that and then and well, there's it's even gets even more hilarious and well into the realm of speculating, because a few years after Elon comes in and burns out the just cancerous, tumorous entity that was definitely Twitter. And it's funny afterwards when you saw these people going, "Oh, how are they going? Twitter's going to fall apart without these 9,000 people." And then, of course, it's fine. It stays up. It's working great. And you go, "Oh, he's the greatest leader ever. Only Elon Musk could come and fire 80% of the company and have it run better." Which is again is funny, is deifying Elon Musk, another fun thing to do. A brilliant businessman to be sure, but he didn't fire anybody valuable, and he knew it. You didn't. So the whole pretext of going, "Oh, he fired all these vitals and critical people." No, they were moonlighters, and a lot of them, huge numbers of them, and they were total baggage that the company was forced to carry because they'd been turned into a state agency for maybe multiple states simultaneously, and he could absolutely come and fire them all, and of course the place would run better. Um, no shit. Right. And so that's the sad thing that happens to social media platforms, right? Which is why I don't like building those kinds of things. I'm happy. I love the world where other people have to be in, want to be in that business. So it's unfortunate because, I'm a technologist. I love making media technology. I love making games. I love working on social media, on media technology. But all that stuff I just hate. Just don't want to deal with it. Oh God. Oh, it's no fun. And it's such a miserable, tragic part of the business, right? And so when you use Facebook or you use Instagram or you use TikTok, you got to understand that the only reason those entities exist for free is to have all that information about everything everybody does, especially starting young, right? Because those guys are playing the long game. It's the kids talking teenager stuff. So what? Well, because they're not going to be teenagers one day. Some of them are going to be corporate banking executives and law firms, people running companies. And so the naughty thing they did on TikTok could destroy their careers and reputations. And at the point that it can do that, it will come out. It is being, we are all being farmed for that. So that's what that's about.